Hi, everybody. Happy last week of school. This is Katie here, and I am just really not a technologically advanced person, so I'm going to make a quick YouTube video that I know how to upload that can kind of walk you through my community health assessment presentation. Um, if you are viewing my slideshow, it's basically asking as the front page, like, what do HOAs or homeowners associations and mental health have in common? And the funny part about it is honestly nothing and everything. So we'll talk about that more here. I did a community windshield survey about the first to second week of our coursework in regards to the homeowners association that I live in called Dobson Ranch. This is in Mesa, Arizona. It's one of the largest and oldest homeowners associations or communities in the Phoenix Valley. It was built in the late 1970s. It has a large golf course. It has several lakes surrounding it. It is probably at least 50,000 homes, I want to say, and it is through the main freeways right next to the local large hospital, the largest community college in Phoenix, Arizona, and lots of other community shops and homes. I quickly found after driving through my neighborhoods for the first week or two that a lot of these homes are older. The air conditioning units in the hot desert here are really needing repair. A lot of the homes might be so old that they have fire safety issues, asbestos, and things like that. And then we do still have a large retirement community of individuals who have lived in Dobson Ranch since the 70s. They might have been the first and original homeowners. The roadways have been updated with large bike lanes, but because it's such a busy area with a lot going on in these neighborhoods, there is a huge risk for accidents, pedestrian and bicycle safety as well. Being that we have a large retirement community on a fixed income, I also know that surrounding cities like Tempe and Scottsdale have community gardens and farmers markets and urban markets, but our area here in Mesa at Dobson Ranch really didn't have anything like that. So those were the 5 health needs that I identified. Following that, in the second and third weeks, we had to start working on our state, county, local area health needs paper. And with that paper, I did identify a lot of other situations and health needs, including the heat stroke or dehydration risk for like the air conditioning needs that I mentioned. But I started finding that it was very interesting that even Governor Doug Ducey for the state of Arizona this year declared a epidemic of suicide. And I did find out that because of the CDC explaining that for every single age group from children to the elderly, there is a top 10 causes of death. And suicide is the one that is actually in the top 10 of every single population. Suicide doesn't care how old you are. Mental health doesn't care if you are male or female. It doesn't care what race or ethnic background you have or what culture you come from. Everyone can and does struggle from mental health issues and illness. So as I went further, that is what I decided to choose. So I decided to choose ending or helping to work on help end the stigma of mental health and bring awareness for suicide prevention and those that have survived suicide or those that have lost someone from suicide. I felt that with this project, if we could even just save one life, it would be worth it. On the 4th slide of my presentation, I have an amazing quote that I actually found and shared during my week's campaign of education that states at the root of this dilemma is the way that we view mental health in this country. I want to insert the word still. Whether an illness affects your heart, your leg, your brain, it's still an illness, and there should be no distinction. All summer I was lucky enough to spend time working on a surgical cardiovascular progressive care unit. I enjoyed my team, I enjoyed the hospital I was at, but I really just felt like we had a lot of patients that were pretty much in and out of our hospital system regularly. They were repeat customers that a lot of staff knew were in and out of the hospital every month, every year. They may have been struggling economically, financially, not having a lot of family support, might have even been homeless or dealing with substance abuse, and I just felt like we were really not serving their mental health needs. I ultimately in September chose to step down from this amazing new grad position and I accepted a position at an acute psychiatric hospital closer to my home that was much smaller, but I just felt like I was ultimately going to be happier making a difference in the psychiatric needs of these patients instead. And this is again a part of why I was led to this project. On the 5th slide, I am talking about how I decided to use social media for the power of good for this teaching intervention. Obviously, with COVID, our families are working from home, our children are learning from home, even in elementary school now, and us here at Upper Iowa in the nursing program are learning from home. I was wanting to know the best way that I could impact and reach as many people as possible with COVID restrictions, and that's where I thought about Facebook. I had found several references, including Hutchison in 2019, explaining that educational platforms for healthcare, educational statistics and things like that, they're finding that the power of social media to really educate the public is a really good, cheap, and free option, especially when we have over 2 billion users utilizing Facebook now every day for every age group. So again, dealing with COVID, dealing with mental health, and dealing with the stress we're all dealing with in the 2020, I did this, and I was so excited to start this project. What I basically did was, for a week long, I created content on my personal Facebook page. My personal Facebook page is 100% public. Anybody can view it if you search my name, Kathleen Donlinger. And because of what I've done in my community, what I've done with previous positions, what I've done with the PPE situation or shortage during the beginning of the pandemic this year, I actually have about almost 5,000 followers or friends listed on my public Facebook. So I thought this was a really good platform that I already had started and ready to go. Every day I made a post. It might have been a personal video, it may have been a statistic, it may have been a personal story that someone shared or my personal story that I shared. It was either a NAMI video. I also shared just videos like this of me talking about things and why I was doing it and why it was important to me. I shared pictures, I shared quotes, and every time I got a like, a comment, or a share, I tried to track it for the week. I also received a lot of personal, private direct messages that folks had asked, hey, like, I just want to let you know I'm reaching out to you, but please just keep what I'm telling you anonymous or private. At the end of this week, I finished my last post today. It was really awesome because after a week long, I did not realize that I had over 450 comments, likes, and shares. That doesn't include those individual private messages I mentioned, but it was folks just saying, thank you for sharing this. Wow, yes, I've lost someone, or yeah, this is something we need to talk about more. Like, everybody's stressed right now because of COVID, and thank you for posting the suicide hotline. Thank you for posting links. Thank you for posting resources, because so many people might need this and you might not even know if they're not mentioning it or suffering silently. During my last reflection page on my slideshow here, I really wanted to copy and paste several of the private messages that I received. It may have been friends, but it was also just some acquaintances or people that I've known for several years or longer. I received about 6 personal messages of individuals that basically had typed out paragraphs long worth of stories to me. Some of these stories are suicide survival. Some of them are suicide attempts. Some of them are family members who have lost someone due to suicide. And I am still right now just really awed and humbled at some of these individuals being brave for the first time, deciding to share their story. And I was approached by them saying, hey, you shared this campaign for this week. I really appreciate you having done this. Here's my story. And I've never shared it until now. And your posts made me feel brave enough to do so. That was a completely unexpected outcome that was just amazing. And I'm definitely going to try to not cry right now, but I think that hearing individuals share their stories of heartache and bravery and survival for sometimes like the first time was just amazing. And it's something I'll probably carry with me for the rest of my life, whether I stay in psychiatric nursing or not. And I also think that it's something I will probably do again, even if it's not a required course project. September was National Mental Health Awareness Month, so it was really fitting that we had done this right now, especially again during about the 10th month of this crazy pandemic quarantine life we're all living. So yeah, I think overall the project was a great success. I mean, I felt that mental health and suicide prevention were really important and near and dear to my heart, but I learned a ton about just how much it affects how many people. And I really learned that there is the power of just speaking up about something you believe in or something you feel strongly about. And I think more and more as we continue to deal with this new normal for all of us, it's something that really needs to bridge all gaps or boundaries and really just make everybody know, like, hey, it's okay. You can be suffering from this, and it's okay. You're not alone. It's not unnormal or anything along those lines. So I'm going to try to wrap this video up at this point. I just wanted to thank you for looking at my presentation, listening to what I had to say, and please feel free to share, comment, or give me any questions or concerns. So thank you so much and have a great semester.